everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Dom here with another DIY video. Today I'm going to be repairing these Paradigm Titan bookshelf speakers. I have them here at home, part of my 7.1 surround system, and I've noticed over time the sound quality in these bookshelf speakers has diminished. And my suspicions were that the actual speakers themselves, the foam surround that's connected to the speaker frame and the cone, probably was damaged, probably had some holes or just wore out and fell off. So I took a peek inside one of them. Sure enough, confirmed my suspicions. That's exactly what it was. I did some research. I looked online and I found a company that has repair kits. I found them on Amazon. I ordered the kit. And it looks like it's very simple to do. The instructions are very detailed. The video that they produce also is very detailed. It looks like a simple project. I figured, let me give it a shot. I've never done anything like this before. So let's get on with this video and show you what I did to repair my speakers. So this is the kit that I purchased off of Amazon. It comes from a company called Simply Speakers, and they have a website, simplyspeakers.com. They've also got a YouTube video, which is very informative, but the booklet itself is very straightforward, great detail, lots of color pictures. You can follow along and do your repair on your speakers. Some of the steps may or may not apply to your type of speaker, but it's very informative. It comes with the glue, obviously. It comes with a brush, which according to what I saw in the material and the video, I may not have to use it in my particular case. It's all dependent on the type of speaker that you have. And it comes with 2 of the foam surrounds. I've got just one here. I'm saving the other one on the side. I don't want to damage it. Pull them apart very gently, be careful. But this is the foam surround that I'm going to replace on my speaker. And it looks like it's, like I said, very straightforward, very simple to do. So this is the back of the speaker, obviously, and you can see that there are 6 screws going around the back, connecting it to the cabinet itself. I'm going to remove those and we'll have a look inside. Now that that's done, just going to score the edge as I did before when opening up the other one, just to confirm my suspicions. There is no glue holding this together, but just the pressure and I guess over time, the aging, just to loosen it up. And I'm just putting my finger inside that baffle there, that hole. I'm just lifting up so I can get a grip on it. And very carefully, when you're gonna open it up, do not pull too far or too hard. You don't want to damage any of these connections that are back here. One goes to the positive. In this case, it's the yellow, and the black goes to the negative. I'm just taking a peek behind to confirm. We're just going to pull those apart very carefully, let it drop, move my backing to the side, and now a peek inside. You'll see it has the wiring and this fiberglass in there. I'm just going to pull that out carefully. And if you take a look inside, you can already see some of the, in this case, I'll just turn it around, some of the broken old foam surround. It's all in pieces there. That is what we're going to replace. That is what should be around the speaker, connecting the cone to the frame. That's the foam surround. That is what we're going to replace. Now, before I remove the 4 screws that are holding the speaker in place, I'm going to disconnect the connections there, the wire connections. The black, obviously, to the negative side, which is clearly marked, and the red, in this case, to the positive. And now I'm just going to remove the 4 screws. I am not going to use my electric screwdriver because it's kind of a little tight inside the cabinet case. And now just remove the actual speaker itself from inside the cabinet. And I will clear all that out before we put it back in. We clean that off to the side just so I can show you. This is what the speaker looks like. And you can see the entire foam surround. This here is all just in shreds. It's all in pieces. That is what goes around the frame of the speaker and connects to the cone itself. This is the cone here. So in order to put on the new foam surround, this entire area of the speaker frame, as well as the cone, this edging here, needs to be cleaned, because you can see that there is the old pieces of foam. You can see if I just peel it like that, it comes right off. This is the old foam surround, as well as some of the adhesive. So according to the instructions, an X-Acto knife or a blade, you know, you can just scrape it off and clean that up and get it ready to have the new foam surround put on with the glue that was included in the package. So now I've already begun removing some of the adhesive that is around the frame of the speaker, and I'm just using an adjustable X-Acto knife going along the edge there and just scraping all that excess off until I have a nice clean frame. And I will do the inside as such. There's a little beveling that's right here on the inside, and I will go around the outside also to make sure that I've got it all. A lot of it pretty much peels right off, but some areas need a little bit of work. And as you can see, I'm just turning the speaker and I'm trying to stay away from the cone. I've got it kind of at a good length on the blade where I'm not too close that I can slip and scratch it. And I am going away from the speaker and just scraping off that excess. Now, what I will do after I clean all this off, I'm going to use probably a little bit of adhesive remover just to go around that edge to clean it off, get that gummy stickiness off of there. And then I'll follow that up with some isopropyl alcohol just to clean it all off. All right, so now that I've got most of it out, I still feel a little stickiness on there. I'm gonna use a little bit of this adhesive remover, this Goo Gone stuff that I like to use on picture frames and packages, things that have UPC codes or any kind of label that's sticky and you want to remove it. That stuff works good. You just spray it on and it comes right off. I put a little bit on my fingertip here. I'm just going to run it along the edge, kind of let it sit there for a few minutes to let it activate. It softens up that adhesive that's on there. Then I'll scrape it once again and wipe it off. And again, I will run isopropyl alcohol after all of this is done, just to make sure that I clean away any of this residue of this adhesive remover, so that way I get a good bond. Now that it's on there for a little bit, it does come off a lot easier. It's softened up, it's done its work, it's activated and made it so much easier for me to scrape off the remaining adhesive that's on there. Now I'm just going to wipe it clean. Again, being very careful not to get on the cone right now. I will be cleaning up the edge of the cone here that does have a little bit of adhesive, and that I will do with only isopropyl alcohol as instructed. All right, now that I've wiped away all that excess, I'm just going to go around with some isopropyl alcohol and just make sure it's free and clear of any other remaining adhesive remover that might be on there. Okay, now that that's done, I need to clean off the edge here of the cone itself. And the cone, even though it's paper, it's pretty strong. It's a strong cone, but you do have to be careful. It's stated in the instructions and in the video that I saw, just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol will do the trick on removing whatever is on there. Right on that edge. Just rubbing gently will remove any adhesive that's on there, and turn the speaker slightly. Just a little bit of pressure, you don't need a whole lot, and you can already see there on my rag, it's black, so it is working, it is removing it. And I can already tell from this angle, a little hard for you to see there, but this area here that has a little bit of the adhesive is already removed from here, and it looks a lot cleaner. So I'm just gonna go around very gently, rubbing on that edge to get rid of all that. Okay, so after doing it a few times and going around and removing some of that adhesive that's around the edge of the cone there, you can see once you're at your final passes, your cloth will be much cleaner as you're going around. You'll also notice it, you'll be able to see it. Again, it's difficult to see here on the camera, probably the angle that I'm showing you, but you can also feel it. It feels a lot smoother than it was before, and I don't feel any of that adhesive, that raise. Okay, now that we've cleaned the surface of the frame and the cone, getting rid of any pre-existing foam particles and adhesive that may be on there. It's ready to have our new foam surround applied. This is how it would sit as a dry fit. This is the perfect 6 inches for this cone. Again, it comes in various different sizes for your type of speaker. But the way we would apply it, as stated in the directions, is to flip the foam surround upside down and have it sit on the speaker. It's good to use the speaker as kind of a turntable when you're applying your glue. So now the glue is stated that it would be enough for about 8 to 10 smaller speakers of this size and about 4 of the 12-inch speakers. And you can unscrew the cap. No need to puncture the tip there. It's already open. And just a gentle squeeze. We are going to put a bead around the inner side of the foam, the inside here. And we won't be using the brush. It says I can use my fingertip just to spread it around. And I'm using the speaker frame itself as kind of a turntable. So when I have to turn and apply my glue to the surface, a small 1/8 bead, as I said, is all you would need. Now, as I said, I don't have to use the brush. I can just use my fingertip and run it along the edge here, very gently, spreading it around evenly. You want a nice, smooth surface of glue so you can have an even bond all the way around. If you take a look at it, you can see it's a shiny surface around that inside of the new foam surround. That is what you want, an even coat. That's why you use your fingertip. And then it's just a simple procedure of flipping it over, laying it center on there. Now, it's not going to make immediate contact because the cone sits a little down. And what is recommended is just with your fingertips along the sides is to push up on the cone while giving it a little tap as you go around. So I'm pushing up on the cone here and I'm just tapping along the edge to make contact. Again, using the speaker itself as a little turntable so I can rotate and cover every area. While I'm pushing up, I'm pressing down on the foam to the cone, making contact. And that's all it takes. Okay, that is all done. I can look around the edges from the inside here, my vision directing towards the edge of the cone and where the foam surround meets, and I don't see any gaps, which means I have good contact in all those areas. And I'm just gonna let it sit for an hour or so and come back, and then we will do the outside surface here, which attaches the foam surround to the frame of the speaker itself. So it's been over an hour that we let this sit to dry. The surround is now applied securely to the cone of the speaker, and we will continue the process by gluing the foam to the frame, applying a little bead all the way around this edging here. And at that time, we won't need to smear it or spread it out. We just need to press down on the outer ring here of the foam surround, and that will be enough to make contact and secure it in place. And that's all we need to do. Run our fingers along the edge here, the outer edge. Make sure it's secured down to the frame of the speaker. And we'll let that sit and dry for a little bit over an hour. It's been over an hour since this has been sitting here to dry. It looks like it has very good adhesion all around the outer edge of the foam surround to the frame, as well as the inner edge to the cone itself. I'm very satisfied with the job. I'm very pleased with the product itself. These babies are ready to be put back into the speaker cabinet and crank them up and get my system sounding just the way it should. So I will leave a link to the product in the description below if you need to purchase one for yourselves. Again, they come in various different sizes. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and keep following for more DIY videos. Thanks for watching.